much do you love your pet? So much so that you're killing it, perhaps?
If you're planning to share your Easter feast and treats with your pets, the consequences can be severe. Dr. Julie Summerfield joins us with a warning about the dangers lurking in the family home. Good morning, Dr. Julie.
Good morning.
I guess that we should start with chocolate.
Yes.
Chocolate's bad for dogs.
Yes, it is.
As the ad tells us.
Yes.
Dogs and cats?
Toxic.
And, what, all pets?
All pets, you should avoid chocolate, but particularly dogs have a toxicity reaction to chocolates. And a lot of dogs love sweet things and will get into chocolate, so even leaving them around, or you need to tell your kids too not to give the pets chocolates.
I'm having a...
Are you having a reaction?
I'm allergic to cats and I'm also allergic to lilies.
Oh,
and I'm getting
sorry
a reaction.
about that.
No, that's all right. How bad is chocolate for pets? What happens?
It can be very severe. It contains caffeine amongst other things, chemicals. Theobromine is a chemical in chocolate, and it can cause restlessness and increased heart rate, but it can also cause seizures and actual poisoning symptoms.
Well, I'm confused because you do sometimes in the shop see, you know, chocolate treats for dogs.
Yeah, that's actually carob.
So that's okay?
That's okay. If you give doggy chocolate, that's fine.
Okay.
Carob's completely different.
Okay.
Yeah, so just avoiding chocolate.
My dad used to feed our family dog tea.
Yeah, that's probably
Warm
not a good
tea,
idea
and
either.
he put sugar in it.
Yeah, not a good idea either. Same thing, caffeine.
The dog had a big reaction, became terribly English.
What sort of dog was it?
It was a Labrador.
Okay.
There you are. It used to go woof woof.
But that's no good.
No, that's no good.
Some of the danger ones at the front, I know that onions aren't good for dogs, but there's garlic as well there. Why are onions and garlic so bad for them?
It's just it's another reaction. Obviously, it'd be a bit dose dependent and individual dependent as well. So it might not cause problems with all animals, but still, it's worth avoiding. There have been toxicity reactions seen, as with grapes, which is an interesting one, and raisins and things
raisins,
like that.
I had no idea. And what
and
macadamia
macadamia
nuts
nuts can cause all sorts of muscle weakness and again, poisoning symptoms. Obviously,
that's how we ruined Scully, I'm sure, because she used to eat all the leftover bolognese.
Scully being
and
your dog.
The dog, yes, and she's irritable bowel syndrome.
Well, that's the thing. It may not be a really severe toxic reaction, but it might be a build-up of some sort of irritation.
Some of these, like detergent and rat poisoning, are obviously going to be toxic. But how are you going to know? I mean, your dog or cat might find this under the house or something, and hours later you discover that they're crook. How do you know how to treat them?
And the symptoms can be quite vague as well. They might just appear unwell, drooling, if they're a little bit unsteady on their feet, or obviously if they have muscle twitches or tremors or seizures, then you know there's something. Yeah, vomiting, diarrhea, those sorts of things. You need to really consider your pets like toddlers and just keep them out of reach and be aware. Some people might not know that lilies are extremely toxic to cats, and cats chew the leaves, the stalks, the flowers. Any part of the lily can cause kidney failure in cats.
Never
really
heard that.
Serious problem.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why they're there. Apparently in America and other countries, they're a big thing used in Easter lilies.
Yeah.
So that's one thing to be aware of, obviously the chocolate, but chemicals around the house. Baits are a big problem as well, because they're actually often containing sweet things to attract rodents or snails, and so dogs particularly, you know, will eat anything. Cats are a bit more fussy.
Julie, since we're approaching Easter, and a lot of people will take maybe a night and go away for a night or 2 nights. What happens if you take your dog, if you're used to going away and you take your dog to maybe 1 of 2 or 3 kennels, but there's one kennel that your dog balks at as soon as you start walking into the kennel? Does the dog know that this is not right? Should you not, therefore, take the dog there?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting point. Maybe something has happened there. If they've been there before and they've had a little bit of a frightening experience, it's probably worth talking to the people at the kennel and giving them the benefit of the doubt just to see if something's happened there, because it might not be anything to do with them. It could be, you know, another animal or something, or a funny smell. So certainly, I think you should consider that and be concerned if the dog's anxious. Yeah.
What should we do if we suspect our dog or cat or animal's been poisoned?
Yeah, straight to the vet. You can ring the poisons information line as well. Don't try and get your animal to vomit, because some things, say, you know, corrosive chemicals and things like that, if they've been ingested and you make them vomit, it burns again the second time up as well. If it's something on the skin, because remember poisonings can be absorbed through the skin as well, you can wash that off with the detergent, that's fine. So anything to reduce the exposure or the absorption.
Now, if the dog's vomiting, or should you take a sample of that into the vet?
Yeah, that's a good idea. And take whatever, try and work out, say if it's a medication or whatever, because aspirin is the other thing. Aspirin and paracetamol can kill cats and be dangerous to dogs as well. So any medications or anything that you suspect, take it in, show the vet, and try and estimate how much it is, because there's some antidotes for some things, but other than that it can be supportive. Depends, we can use some things to counteract the poisoning, otherwise it's a matter of using charcoal, trying to bind that poison, and supportive treatment like fluids and things. But it can be really serious. And even things like mouldy food, for example. If you're worried about something and you think, oh, I'm not going to eat it, probably best not to give it to the animal, because, you know, I mean, they can get...
See, I've made that mistake over the years too. Then I'm doing everything wrong. I've given chicken that's a bit off to the dog, thinking, oh, she's got a gut of steel. Yeah,
well, some dogs do and others don't. But if you're unsure, I think it's probably better not to. Prevention's really the key. But batteries, for example, anything lying around, animals can get into. So you just really need to try and prevent it from happening and be careful.
Yes. And remember the Easter egg hunt. Keep the animals out of the way during the Easter egg hunt.
Carob, no chocolate.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Julie.
Thank you,
Thank you.
And we'll be back after this.